A little better. Turn that on. There we go. We got good lighting now. Got the TV going. Got to watch the cooking show. You know, I'm not in a hurry this morning. Let's cook some breakfast. Got my coffee here. I'll pour my coffee. How y'all doing this morning? All four of you. Oh my. Now I gotta get my coffee ready for me. Y'all having a good Memorial Day? I wonder when is Memorial Day? Was yesterday Memorial Day and we just get Monday off, or is Monday Memorial Day? I'm not quite sure. I think Monday. I think today is Memorial Day, I think. So anyway, there's that. All right, get my stove out here. I already chopped my tater up while I was waiting. Be the same old breakfast I cooked the other morning. It's one I like, so it's what I cook. Cook what you like. That. Now, how y'all doing this morning? Oh, 59 of you already. All right, cool. Now, just cooking me some breakfast. Got my coffee done. And cook some quick breakfast here. Visit with y'all. And we're going to take a little run down here. We're in Utah right now. We're going to take a little run down a real pretty highway. That'll be an hour from now, probably, or more. But we're going to get off the interstate and run a little two-lane road. And it's just, I don't know. It's pretty. It's neat. So we'll show you that. And then we'll run on down to Vegas for the night, down somewhere close to Vegas, and make our delivery tomorrow morning. Yeah. Slap your mama. I love this stuff. When I was up there in Hagerstown, people were constantly coming up and giving you little gift bags and stuff like that, you know. Somebody gave me this stuff here, Old Bay seasoning. And I think it's more for like seafood and stuff like that. It's got crab, shrimp, and chicken. But they say you put it on anything. I haven't tried it yet. I don't know. I'll get around to that someday. I'm not sure. Probably when my slap your mama runs out. So we'll start letting that cook. And I'm going to get my laptop out here. And we're going to try to pull up some emails. Maybe while I'm eating I'll talk about the emails. But, oh mercy. That's one of my favorite channels right here on PBS. The Create channel. Oh, it's great. It's got all kinds of neat stuff. A lot of good cooking shows and stuff on that. I really like. That lid on there. That's one of my other little things is instead of using my chopping block, I've got that one, and I've also got right here a chopping block. But if you use that, then you got to wash it. That's a little bit more water you got to use. This truck's only got a 30-gallon tank, so I use a paper plate as a chopping block, and when it's the cutting board. And once that's done, I use it as a lid. When I'm done, I just throw it away. Now when I get done, I'll have 2 utensils clean. I'll have, well, 3. I'll have a knife, a fork, and the pan itself that I eat right out of. So I use very little water that way. Save the water for things like showers. Speaking of showers, you notice this shirt? I've had it on for several days now. It's time for a shower. Yeah, I need to hop in there and take a shower. I think I'll do that this evening when I get down to Vegas. So, because it's cold this morning. I woke up, it's 36 degrees outside, and it's chilly. So, why not wait till it's nice and warm, then crawl in there and take a shower so when you come out, you're not freezing your butt off. So, anyway, got that cooking. Turn it down to a 2. Get my laptop turned on here. And where's my phone at? I don't have any fast internet right now. My internet is slowed way down because I've used up all my data for the month. So I really can't do much anything on it. I can check emails, and that's about it. Let's see here. It's slowed way down to dial-up speed. I mean, really slow. And so I just clicked on the button, and it's still just a white page. So it takes a while. Then I'm gonna pull up some emails and maybe go through them and talk a little bit about them. Still a white page. There, connection timed out. Try again. Because the internet is so stinking slow, it just takes forever for a page to load up, and the web page just kind of gives up. If it takes too long, it gives up. So, it was actually pretty good yesterday when I had it. When I was coming across I-70 in Utah, there's a huge area that's just dead. I mean, I couldn't make a phone call, nothing. There was zero signal. But right here, I got 5G. That's got 4 bars of LTE right here, and it's just taking its sweet old time. We might not do emails after all, huh? So. There it's coming. Oh, no new emails this morning. Wow, it's unbelievable. Remember about 2 months ago, I was getting 70 or 100 every day, and I couldn't keep up with them. So, yeah, I'm not getting that many emails anymore. So back to normal. Back to normal. Let's see. What was that? Read that one again. I just happened to see it. Oh, okay, yeah. Zipper. Good morning, Sasnak. Thank you for every person that served in the military or had someone that passed away for our freedom in this country. We will never forget. Yeah, very good. Very good. So, did everybody decide today is Memorial Day? Today is Saturday or Sunday, or I think it's Monday is the actual holiday. So today is actual Memorial Day, right? So have a happy Memorial Day. I like Zipper said, thanks for the military guys and gals that gave, when you go into the military, when you go into the military, basically you write a blank check to the federal government. You write a blank check, so there it is. And every now and again, they want to cash that in. So for the guys that did cash in, the check did get cashed in, thank you very much. I think we all know what cashed in means. So yeah. Let's see here. Yesterday I talked about the gimbal and the tripod. I talked about that. I gotta flip my breakfast. Turn it down to 1. I don't have the generator. I got the tractor running, warming the engine up, and while it's warming up, I've got this plugged into the outlet, which is going through the inverter. So the truck is running with the alternator. The alternator is charging the batteries. The batteries are supplying electricity to the inverter that's underneath this seat. That inverter is converting from DC to AC and going up to that outlet up there, and I can plug my coffee pot in, and I plug this hot plate in. It's an induction stove hot plate, and that way I don't have to start the generator. So it used to be I had to start the generator up if I wanted to run any of that. Just to brew coffee, I had to start the generator up. And one of the hardest things on an engine is when you first start it up. So the less you start it, the longer they last. So we're watching on TV here. Let me see if I can find some good email to talk about. Somebody, this is several days ago. It's back on the 26th. Maybe 4 days ago, 5 days ago now. People tell me, stop with the apology tour. Quit apologizing to everybody. Well, you know, I'm just trying to make it right, trying to not step on people's toes, you know. Apparently Brian was upset about what I'd said about him, and okay, tried to make amends there. Still not sure what Santa was upset about, but don't know. Something in mind. But yeah, I'm not doing any of the apology stuff anymore. I think I've cleared everything up there, and apologize to the Canadians. Let's see here. Oh, here, okay, Nick sent me an email here a while back, and I don't want to read it verbatim, but basically he's like, talking about, you know, I was talking about, I'm going to sell this truck, or I'm going to put it up for sale. We'll see if it sells. But, you know, try to sell this truck, and if I sell the truck, what am I going to do and all that? But he talks about how he used to work in IT and all this, and he did some local driving with a cargo van and all that. But he really likes the idea of going and buying it, getting a CDL, and he wondered if he went out and got a CDL, which is not as easy as it used to be. You have to go to truck driving school now, okay? As of February, I think it was. I got to flip this again. Okay, those are soft enough. Supposed to be able to pick that shell up easy with the other shell. There we go. didn't work too well. So basically what I've done there is cook some taters and put some a sausage link and cut it up and fried them up, got them soft and cooked up and everything. Then I threw a couple eggs in there, 3 eggs. Put 3 eggs in there, and then I just swirl them around until everything's kind of coated. What that'll do is end up cooking up like almost like a pancake, an omelet type pancake thing or whatever. And once it gets firm enough, I can break it free with a pan and just flip it one time, and it's done, you know. And then, you know, you get your plate out, but why dirty another plate? I just eat right out of the pan. Ain't nobody else here. So if I had company, I'd get plates out and all that, but that's just that much more stuff to, you know, dishes to wash. So try not to do that. But anyway, let's see. Nick wants to know about if he went to work for this company I'm working for, would he, being a rookie, you know, with a CDL with no experience at all, would they hire him? Probably not. I don't know for sure, but probably not. They would want you to have a couple years of experience, or at least a year of experience. And it's probably not so much them, it's the insurance company. The insurance companies are kind of the pain of everything in this industry. So I don't have a lot of good to say about insurance. So it's like, you're insured, but you're supposed to get you back together. You have a wreck or something, they're supposed to get you back to where you were, and they never do. It's always short. It's always short. You wreck a $100,000 truck and they'll pay you $75,000. Wait a minute, no, that's not back to where I was. I wrecked a $100,000 truck. You should pay for another $100,000 truck. No, they're dirty. Don't like them. Don't have much good to say about insurance companies. So, all right. Nick, they probably wouldn't hire you if you if you went out and got a CDL and you'd have to buy your own truck, you know, and don't know anything about them, barely know how to drive the thing. You're putting a lot of money into something you're not even sure you want to do. I would go to work for a company, get your CDL through them, because nowadays you can't just go down to the DMV and get a license anymore. You have to go to a truck driving school. As of February, you have to go to some kind of accredited school, a mega carrier. So they're the ones that, here we get into politics again, but they're the ones that petitioned the senators and everything and basically bribed them and says, hey, you need to, we want you to pass these laws that say the driver, for safety, my butt, okay, but they have to go to a truck driving school. They can't just go to the DMV, pass the test, and be good. So it used to be you could go get your book, study it, go down to the DMV, take the test, pass it, then you come back a different day with a truck. Somebody drives a truck down. There were companies that actually had trucks, and they take them down to the DMV for you. They show up at an appointed time, and the officer would come out and you do your walk-around inspection, and then after that you take your driving test, and then at that point, if you passed all that, you got your CDL. Got your CDL in hand. Now you are technically a truck driver. Don't know anything about trucking, but you're technically a truck driver, and you can go drive a truck. And you can go buy your own truck and go down the road, okay? And the companies, the mega carriers, they didn't like that because they can make a lot of good money off of students if they talk them into going through their school. So they don't want them to. Yeah, it's not pretty. Always flip over a sink in case you mess up. There we go. Ta-da! Alright. So, with that, you have to go to truck driving school now. And so what they do is they get you to go to their school, and you can go to like a community college school, stuff like that, which is probably a better way to do it, but you have to pay money up front. If you don't have any money, you're down money-wise. You go down money-wise and everything, you don't have enough money to go to a community college, you get that test, get that training and everything. You can go to a truck driving company, a mega carrier, and they have truck driving schools that put you through their own school, and it doesn't cost you anything. You go through them, you pass, they get you in a truck, and you go with a trainer for a while, then you get your own truck, and down the road you go. But for a certain amount of time, you have to pay them back. So let's just say, if they were to hire a driver, not me, because I've got 35 years experience, they'd start me at the top of the ladder. But let's say you got some person that comes in, they got 1 year of experience. They would hire them at, let's just say, 35 cents a mile. They'd hire them at 35 cents a mile, and but the student, they pay them 35 cents a mile, but they charge back like 7 cents a mile back to, that they hold back to pay for that training that you just did, right? They get paid for that training, okay? It's not free, okay? So you work for them for like a year to pay that debt, that schooling off. And if you quit early, they do a collection agency thing on you, okay? Or you can just pay it, you pay the difference. But anyway, I got a friend of mine, he went through community college, worked really well for him. And he's not beholden to any particular company for any particular amount of time. All right. That's about done. Let that continue to cook. So yeah, you can go to truck driving school, and you're basically, nothing's free. Okay, you can pay $5,000 up front and go to a truck driving school, community college kind of thing. But when you got you're all done, you can go to hire at any company you want to. Okay, if you go to the mega carriers and hire on with them, and they train you, you sign paperwork saying that you will work for them for a certain amount of time. That gives them time to make back their money. Okay. They're not training you for the goodness of their heart. They're training you because they need somebody in the driver's seat. They don't want to train you and you go work for a different carrier. So what they'll do is they'll get a contract signed with you to where you go through their classes and everything. And when you start driving your own truck, they withhold a few cents per mile. So let's say you're getting paid 35 cents a mile, they'll hold like 5 or 7 or 8 cents per mile back. And that adds up over time, and eventually that pays off that 3 or 4, whatever they think their schooling is worth. And that's all, they tell you that up front. But anyway, you have to work for them for a certain amount of time to pay that off, okay? My friend, he went to a college, a community college, got his thing, and he went to work for a carrier, started out, I think, like 40 cents a mile or something like that. He's loving it, He's very happy with his decision. Mark, I'm talking about you. And he's very happy with the decision and everything. And he's not beholden to that company. If they make him mad for someone or whatever reason, he can always just pack up and go to work for a different carrier. And he doesn't have to stay there. He's not forced to stay there a year. Some even are 2 years. Okay? And you can't just go out and get a CDL now and buy a truck and drive down the road. You have to go to a truck driving school of some type, okay? So, gee, we don't have enough drivers. Let's make it harder for somebody to become a driver. just doesn't make any sense. Make it easier for people to be drivers. I don't know. But then you get people that shouldn't be driving a truck, and you know, that's getting a little dirty. Put that in the laundry, get a new one out. So there we go. There's breakfast is served. I can put some cheese on there if I wanted to. I'm okay with it. That's the way it is. There you go. Cool off a little bit. Let's see. I think this is the same person asking me about the gimbal. Do I have a gimbal? If so, which one? I talked about that yesterday. No, I don't have a gimbal. I use a GoPro, and it has internal stabilization. It's pretty good. Okay, it's not perfect, but it's pretty good. Okay, and it doesn't have that. Gimbals just seem very fragile, and if you do something just wrong, they break. You know, the GoPro, it just goes on your selfie stick, whatever. It just goes on there and it's done. If you need to lay it down, you can lay it down. You pick it right back up, and boom, it's right back to working with shit. A gimbal, you can't do that. If you lay it down, it messes it all up. It's just I never did care for gimbals. So let's go back. Yep. Come on, load up. Waiting for it to load up. I'm waiting for this to load up. I'm going to read these. Morning, Pam. Enjoyed the sightseeing tour yesterday of the Rockies. Never been out there? Very good. Piece of gristle in that sausage. Doesn't happen very often, but every now and then you get a piece of gristle in it. Linda sent me a message here about Oreo Express, about his car getting vandalized. I think everybody kind of knows about that. That happened several days ago. Yeah, somebody, you wonder who, somebody that's on the other political spectrum. Is that good enough? Somebody came over and found his car where he was at a hotel, and they vandalized his car. I mean, they destroyed it. Broke all the windshields, flattened all the tires, spray painted it red, I guess. Just made a mess of it. I got an offer to do a portable power station, one of those solar generators. Got an offer to review one of those. I've been turning that kind of stuff down simply because you guys don't like it when I try to sell something. Oh, go back to trucking. We don't want to care. We don't care about your stupid, flashlights and stuff like that. Okay. I like flashlights. But anyway. It just seems like it just made everybody mad when I'm trying to make a little side money. So, oh well. here's a guy, this is back on the 25th. He said, I saw you driving through Missouri today. I was the guy in the van that slowed down and waved at you. I think I already mentioned that the other day. But yeah, I was just driving along, and all of a sudden this van pulls up beside me, kind of stops. And it's enough where, you know, if they just drive on by, you don't notice them. Or if they just kind of sitting there driving by slow, you don't notice them. But they come up pretty quick and then whoop, and stop, pull up right beside you. You're like, what's going on? You look down, this guy's up there, he's waving. Hi. And he goes on, you know, okay. And he describes in the email, instead of opening it up, it takes forever to open these up. But basically what he said was, I watch you all the time, but my wife had never heard of you, and I was sitting there trying to explain to her who you were. So I get a kick out of that too. You know, I'm just driving down the road. You know, for 30 years, 35 years, I've been driving down the road, and nobody noticed me. Nobody, you know, nobody cared. Whatever. And now, just before the convoy, about once a month, somebody might wave and say, "Hey, I, you know, recognize you," kind of thing. Sitting at a fuel stop, some driver will come walking over. "Hey, Sasnak, I love your video." Oh, okay. Now, it's not every day, but it's quite often. I mean, sometimes it's twice a day, sometimes it's not for, you know, a week. But yeah, I had somebody, who was it the other day? It's coming through Iowa. It's coming through Iowa, Des Moines or someplace, somewhere across there. There's Quad Cities. You know, I was coming across there, and somebody did the same thing, pulled up, and as they went, they didn't pull up and stop and, you know, whatever, wave and all that. Just as they went by, they rolled the window down, they put their thumb, you know, thumbs up, hey. That kind of lets me know that they recognize the truck from the convoy, I'm guessing. So I've yet to get the freedom finger, other than when I was in the convoy. Everybody's worried about these. I get quite a few emails about the trolls. There's a less than a handful, about 3 or 4, that are just vicious, you know, and won't let it go, you know. Don't know what I ever did to them, but they're just kind of relentless on their hate. I don't know why. I don't know what I've ever done to them. But I tell people here, and my moderators and stuff like that, just ignore them. They're bullies, and they're trying to get attention. They're sad little bully people, and they're trying to get attention. Ignore them, and they go away. They give up. Somebody was telling me yesterday, we were watching a video, somebody was telling me, somebody was accusing, I was talking to my mom. I was talking to my mom yesterday. And she said she saw a video of one of the trolls. And I'm like, why'd you even click on it? Because that just gives them another view and encourages them. You know? But yeah, she was telling me that somebody was saying something about me, and it was completely, I mean, not even, never even crossed my mind what it was. I can't remember, but anyway, she was telling me that somebody was accusing me of something or other. I'm like, not that I've ever heard of, you know. So yeah, it's just, don't believe all that nonsense. People are sad, pathetic little people, and just ignore them. They'll go away eventually. I can't remember what it was now. She told me. I'm like, what? Who would even think of that? You know. The other things, people come into the comments here, the comment sections and stuff, either comments or the chat. The chat is what's going right here on the screen. Okay, the comments are after the video's over and people want to comment on a video. Okay, it's amazing, they comment a lot more on the chats, nasty stuff on the chats. They don't comment that much. In the comments, they don't have as much nasty stuff. It's usually, nice, nice stuff in there. And all they're doing is throwing stuff out there, trying to get a rise out of you, out of not me, but you guys, just so they can stir some stuff up. Just ignore them. Just ignore them. Don't respond back to them. Moderators will get to it eventually if they keep seeing that same person doing the same thing over and over. Okay, well, you're out of here, and delete them. So don't fall into their trick. Somebody comes in and says, "Stan's no good, Sonic, blah, 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 blah." And you guys on the chat start defending them. Just ignore them. They're trying to get you riled up, so this chat turns into negative stuff. Just ignore them. Okay? Ignore them, ignore them, ignore them. Like, well, shit, we're not getting a rise out of any Stan or any of his followers, so I go somewhere else and try to get a rise. Why? I don't understand the mentality of why people get a kick out of that. Another thing, I've never understood hackers. I mean, it's computer guys that want to just see if they can do it, I think. But I've never understood hackers. Why? Maybe if you hack and try to, for monetary reasons, but some people just hack just to see if they can get in there and do it, and it screws everybody's stuff up. I don't know. It's a devil working on them. I say it's the devil working on them. Some people want me to do a disclaimer against certain people in the convoy. Not in the convoy, the new convoy. Okay, the 1776 convoy, which I was never a part of. Okay, I left the convoy on Wednesday morning, and the convoy dissolved Friday afternoon, and the new convoy started up, I guess the next day, or somewhere along in there, next day or two. And I was never part of that new convoy, the 1776 convoy, or it's not, they don't call it a convoy, the movement. I've never been a part of that movement. Okay, but see, if I talk about it, it just stirs a bunch more stuff up. But a lot of people want me to put a disclaimer out there because I'll never phrase this and be right. I don't want to piss anybody off, but need to set the record straight, kind of thing. And I have nothing against Santa. He's a nice guy. I mean, what I know of him, he's a nice guy. I don't know him very well, but what I do know of him, he seems pretty decent. But he's a member of a group, and this group has been deemed by the powers that be, the government, that it's a hate group and and they're also on the domestic terrorist watch list. Okay. I don't know much about them. I don't know very much about them at all. Just a couple. I never even heard of them until about 3 weeks ago. Up in Montana, it was up in Hardin, Montana. We were at that fairgrounds, and they all had a meeting, and the comment came out about the boys. Okay, and I'd never heard of them. I thought they were talking about the other boys. There's two groups. There's the Boogie Boogie boys, and then there's the Proud Boys. Everybody knows who I'm talking about. So there's the Blue Blue boys and the Proud Boys. All right, and they got different. They have similar and different agendas apparently, and I don't know enough about them to comment on all that stuff. I really don't know enough about them, but because I guess they've been called domestic terrorists, which, if you think about it, George Washington would have been a domestic terrorist. Think about it. Okay. So yeah, they were rebels, and now they're heroes, right? I don't know. But let's go back in time a little bit. We had 9/11. Right after 9/11, they passed the Patriot Act, right? And the Patriot Act started opened up a whole can of worms of what the government can do if they feel threatened, okay? And basically, anybody that raises a hand and says, we don't like what you're doing, domestic terrorist! You know, I think you all know me pretty well. Do I seem like a domestic terrorist? No, okay? I'm a citizen that doesn't like what they're seeing going on in D.C. And my biggest thing about D.C. is the people that have too much power, okay? Power corrupts. And founding fathers wanted representatives to come from different parts of the country, because back then they didn't have internet. So they wanted people from Georgia to elect a couple people to come up to D.C. People from Maine elect a couple people, so those people could come. So you didn't have the whole country coming to D.C. Okay, representatives would come up there, so everybody could stay at home and stay working and doing their jobs and whatever they're doing. Okay, and you can't fit everybody into D.C. anyway. So instead of sending everybody up to D.C., send representatives. And the idea was, you stop your job, you go up there and you serve your country for a few years, and then you go back home and go back to your job. Okay, I guarantee if I had Thomas Jefferson or George Washington or Sam Adams, any of the founding fathers, sitting over here and I was interviewing them and asked them about these politicians that have been in there for 30 or 40 years, John McCain, Bob Dole, Nancy Pelosi, Joe Biden. You get those people, they've been in, you get the idea. These people have been there way too long. They've made a career out of being a politician. No, you be a politician, you go up, you serve your country, and then you quit and go back to your old job. Or you move up the ladder and become president, and then quit and go back to your old job. Okay? But this idea of going up there and being a senator for 40 years is preposterous. So I'm all for term limits. Okay? Now, how are you going to get people to vote themselves out of office? Think about it. How are you going to get somebody to vote themselves out of a job? You're not. So it's going to be really hard to get term limits. But that would solve so many of our problems. Get rid of these really, really powerful politicians that power corrupts, okay? And that's all I'm interested in, just limiting them. We have one of the best governments in the world. The way it's founded and everything, it works great. It's when individuals get in there and get too much power and they bastardize the system, okay? If I wanted to run right now, there's no way I could become a senator right now. In where I live is Ted Cruz, okay? He's got too much power, okay? I like Ted Cruz. I think he's done pretty good. Okay? I like how he calls people out on stuff, okay? But Ted, you've been there for 10 years. Time to pack up and go back home to your law office, okay? It's time to let somebody else do it for a while. And that's really hard to tell somebody that you like that to go home, because he's powerful enough to fight off the other side, okay? These terrible, terrible Democrats like, what's her name? CPO, or what the hell's her name? The waitress, the cocktail waitress from New Jersey. Something. RCO, PPO, Buckman Turner, BTO, I don't know. What is her name? Somebody tell me what her name is. The gal from New Jersey is such a liberal nutcase from New Jersey. Yeah. AOC, yeah, whatever AOC stands for, something, Antonio Cortez or something like that. I don't know, I can't, anyway, yeah. So, but you get people like her, you have to have somebody to fight back against it, right? So it's nice to have a powerful person on your side. But if both sides were limited to only 10 years, okay, this is my proposal. Okay, presidents are 4 years, 4-year terms. Congressmen are 2-year terms. Senators are 6-year terms, right? Okay, 6-year terms. Okay, let's just do 12 years max. Okay, 12 years max. Okay, that let's say 10 years for president's already in there. Okay, so 2 terms, so 10 years max on a president. 10 years max on a house. So that's five election cycles. 10 years, good enough on Congress. Okay, and then on senators, 2 terms, which would be 12 and 12, or 6 and 6 is 12 years on them. Okay, that's my proposal. I think it'd be a great idea. So none of these guys can get so stinking powerful and milk the system the way they do and become billions. I want to know how much does a senator make? Okay, Biden was a senator. How much does a senator make per year? Okay, just add it up. I don't know. Anybody know how much a senator makes per year? $140? Okay. A senator makes about $140,000 a year at their job. How long was Biden a senator? How many years? My handy dandy calculator out. And he probably didn't make $140,000 30 years ago. Okay, somebody said 150 to 175. 275. Okay, I think it depends on the state. I think. Okay, the state pays them, I believe. But let's just say 175 a year. 175,000 a year. And how long was Biden? How long was Biden a senator? Anybody know? How many years was Biden a senator before he became president? 45 years. 175 times 45 equal $7 million. How much is he worth today? How much? If he never spent a dime and put all that $170,000 every year, that's how much money he'd have in the bank. How much is he worth? If he never spent a dime, that's how much he'd have in the bank. How much is Joe Biden worth? Remember, he's been a public servant all his life. Oh, take that back. He was a truck driver. I forgot. Joe Biden was a truck driver. That's where he made all his money. But I don't know if it'll. My internet's so slow right now. Let me look here. Hey Siri. What is Joe Biden's net worth?
Joe Biden's net worth was $9 million in 2019.
In 2019, it's worth $9 million. So if he saved every dime of every paycheck that he ever made, which 30 years ago, 40 years ago, he didn't make $175,000 a year. He probably only made $90,000 a year or $60,000 a year. They get increases over the years, just like everybody, right? So if he saved every dime and never spent a dime, okay, you get the idea. I thought he was worth more than that. But Bill Clinton, same kind of deal. How much is Bill Clinton? Obama. How much is Obama worth? Now, oh, I know he sold a book. But they get in there and they finagle the system, get insider trading, all this crap. And they talk about Biden was one of the cleanest ones. He was the most honest one. So, what I'm saying, who needs to be a senator for 45 years? Really? That wasn't the initial intent. The founding fathers didn't have that. So anyway, I got a little off subject here. All I want to do is all I'm interested in is getting the powers that be up there so they don't have as much power. The more power they have, the more corrupt they become. And then you get them doing stuff, paybacks and stuff like that. Like they're getting ready to vote on that World Health or WHO deal. They're getting ready to sign over. They've already done it. I've heard about it a week ago. They might have already signed it over. I don't know. But they're getting ready to sign over our U.S. sovereignty to other countries in the WHO. Now, the way this country works, we elect people to go up there and serve for us. They go up and they serve for us, they do what we want them to do, and then they come back home and go back to their jobs. No. What happens is we put them up there, they get powerful, they get greedy, and they stick around for 30 years, 40 years, okay? How long has Pelosi been up there? I know she's like 180 years old, so she's probably been up there 120 years, So, but they go up there and they stick around too long, and they get real powerful, and then they start. We are supposed to be in charge of the people that are in charge of us. Okay, we're supposed to be in charge of them. They do our bidding, what we tell them to do, and it's not like that anymore. We put them in there, and then they turn around and tell us what to do, and then they turn around and they're going to sign a treaty with the WHO to sign off all of our rights as far as if there's a pandemic. So we just had a pandemic 2 years ago, and you saw what fiasco that went through. Okay, nobody really knew. Everybody's like, oh, and me, I was scared. At first, I'm like, oh man, very be careful about this. And I know a lot of people died from the virus and all that. I know it killed a lot of people. Okay, I understand that. But what they did was they used that fear that everybody had to, here, we'll take a little bit of your freedom away to make you feel a little safer. And now they've taken that freedom away and they're getting ready to give it to other countries. WHO, World Health Organization, supposedly if another pandemic comes up, and they're the ones decide whether it's a pandemic or not, they can say, hey, your toenails grow too fast. That's a pandemic. We need to shut you down. And not the world, just that country over there. Okay? So we don't like let's just pick Canada. We don't like what Canada's doing. This is the WHO talking. We don't like what Canada's doing, and we shut them down. Okay? We don't shut the rest of the world down, but we shut them down because they let their toenails grow too long. I'm being absurd here, but you get the idea. They can come up with any reason they want and say there's a pandemic in this country. We don't like what they're doing politically, so we're going to shut them down by using the excuse that there's a pandemic in their country. Okay? There's frostbite in Canada because they go fishing, ice fishing, and they get their toes cold and they get frostbite. Okay? So we need to shut that down. So because Canada didn't do what we wanted to 2 years ago on something, some little, the United Nations. So they didn't do what we wanted to do on the United Nations. So hey, WHO, get over there and shut them down. So okay, well now we got to shut the country down because of some made up quarantine bullshit, and they harm that country. Okay, they don't harm the rest of the world, just that one country. They can come to America and say, hey, America didn't sign this new Green Deal peace initiative for global warming, and we don't like that. So we're going to punish them, and we're going to shut them down. Says, nobody can, the economy, we have to quarantine the country, okay? And they have the power to do that. If they sign this, they'll have the power to do that. You see what I'm saying? It's what? Well, good or toenails, whatever. So, I'm trying to be absurd to point out the absurdity of it, okay? They can come into a country and say, hey, we don't like that president. Let's just say they don't like Trump. We didn't like Trump, and he didn't sign this global initiative for global warming, okay? And he didn't sign it. All the rest of the countries did, but the United States didn't because Trump was in there. I think next year we're going to have a pandemic in the United States, and we're going to shut them down. And now we quarantine the country. That means export, import, nothing can come in, come out. People can't come in, come out. We're quarantined. They will have the power to do that. They're getting ready to sign that over to an organization that doesn't have our best interest in heart. Really think about it. They're giving away sovereignty to a foreign, not even a foreign country, a foreign entity. Okay, I guess who was it? I was watching it. The leader of the WHO right now, I think he's Somalian or Ethiopian. Somalian, I think. And I've never heard of him. I have no idea who he is. But he'll have power over this whole country. Actually, the whole world. Not a good idea, folks. Not a good idea. And because we let the same people stay up in DC for years and years and years and years and years, they get corrupted and power hungry, and they go, oh yeah, this is a great idea, let's do this. All right? And they sign over, they do stupid stuff. They're really, really stupid stuff. So, I would love to limit their power massively. Doesn't mean I want to overthrow them or nothing like that. So that gets back to the when I first started talking about. We had the Boogaloo Boys. First time I ever heard about them was when Ricky Bobby got up on top of the school bus. The other guy got arrested because he had a gun. Okay. People that watch this convoy stuff, they know all about that. Okay? And if you don't, go back and learn about it. Well, Ricky Bobby got up there one night, pissed off about whatever, and this other guy showed up, and he would come find out him and that other fellow with the red hat, they were Boogaloo Boys. The hell's a Boogaloo Boy? I've never heard of them. Well, apparently they're a group of guys, people that don't, they want anarchy. They just want anarchy. They want everything to blow up and fall apart. From what I understand. I don't know. I don't know enough about it. So then later on, about 3 weeks ago now, we're up there in Montana, and somebody says that Santa's a Proud Boy. I'm like, Proud Boy? And I'm thinking Boogaloo Boys. I'm like, something boys, Like, what? No way, Yeah, it's a Proud Boy. I'm like, you mean like that guy that got arrested up there? No, that was the Boogaloo Boys. I'm like, what's the difference? Boogaloo Boys and Proud Boys. I'm like, oh, so what are they like? So I'm starting to learn a little bit about them, not a lot. I basically went online and kind of looked up trying to find out what they were about, because nobody seemed to know. And so anyway, the convoy starts to, choose my words correctly here, keep people in the convoy left. Okay. Brian left, and then Mike eventually left, and Gray Wolf left, and several other kind of key people left the convoy, which left an opening, and that's when Santa stepped in and said, oh, I guess we'll better take charge of this. And the convoy changed from the People's Convoy and started changing into what eventually became the 1776 movement. Okay? And so there's been all kinds of scuttlebutt talk about what would happen if they go down to DC and all this kind of stuff. And if they go down to DC and they're affiliated with the Proud Boys at all, because the Proud Boys are considered a domestic terrorist group, which I highly doubt, but I highly doubt they're that, but they've been labeled as such. Okay? I don't know. But everybody's warning me, a lot of people are warning me, you need to disassociate with the 1776 movement. I'm like, I was never part of that. I left 2 days before that even started. But I've had several people, no, you need to disassociate, because if you don't, if something happens, they can come back on you because you were part of the original People's Convoy. Okay, so here it is. Here's my disclaimer, okay? Here's my disclaimer. I am not, and never have been, a part of any movement like the Proud Boys or the Boogaloo Boys or anything like that. I was a member, I guess you could say I was a member of the People's Convoy. I was a member of the People's Convoy because what I knew of the People's Convoy is we're wanting to go up there and change things and slow Congress down on this the pandemic mandates and stuff, you know, the medical mandates. And it seemed like a good idea, okay? And through all that, I'm sitting there thinking, you know, you talk about the mandates all you want, but the root cause of all this is power. People up there in DC just have too much power. So I always thought the best idea was to go up there and promote term limits. And I've said it many, many times, term limits. I think it's a great idea to get term limits. If term limits are good for the president, why aren't they good for the Congress and the Senate? So, speaking of, he just had a picture of FDR up here. It's not there anymore. But if it's okay for them, if it's okay to limit the president, why isn't it okay to limit a senator and a congressman? So I'm all for limiting them. Okay, legally, you know, get it passed through an amendment to the Constitution. You know, but you got to get everybody behind that, and I think that would be a great idea if everybody got behind that. And come election time, you're new people. I asked some of the people that were running for Congress. Tyler, and then there was a couple of the other ones that were showed up there toward the end were running. They get people up and give speeches, and they say that they're running for Congress or whatever, running for Senate. And afterwards, I walk over and talk to them. So, what do you think about term limits? Oh yeah, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. Okay, would you put that on? Would you put that on the record? And most of them didn't want to do that. So that tells me they're not for term limits. They'll tell you what they want, but once they get in there, they want to hold that power. Power is it's an evil drug. Power is an evil drug. You get hooked on it. So anyway, good enough. Let me. All right. The disclaimer: I'm not a Proud Boy. I'm not a Boogaloo Boy, whatever the hell they are. I'm not any of them. Okay. I'm a truck driver that saw the convoy and goes, that sounds like a pretty good idea. Let's go up there and bitch about this medical mandates, okay? Thought it's a good idea. And the whole thing kind of evolved, and now it's what it is now, and I'm not a member of any of that. They can do what they want. I'm not talking bad about them. I'm just not part of it. Simple as that. I'm back here driving a truck again, okay? I don't mean anything negative toward them. You know, I don't mean anything positive toward them. It's just a kind of a neutral thing as far as I'm concerned, okay? So, good enough. Turn this off. Let's get to rolling. We got about an hour drive to get down to that pretty highway, so let's get this turned off, packed away. I gotta clean it up real quick. Hit my head. Alright, let's get you out of here. Over here. at here? We're at 1 hour already? Wow. Time flies when you're having fun, don't it? Let me get out and walk around the truck real quick. All right, where are we at? We're in Salina, Utah. Salina. It's Salina, Kansas. I think they pronounce it Salina, Utah. Salina, Utah, or Salina? I don't know. Anyway, we're in Salina, Utah at the TA right now. We've got a TA Express, which is a small TA, a little convenience store type truck stop. Because that's what makes money. Is the little gas station type truck stops. Less parking spaces, less everything, no shops, no repair deals, anything like that, no oil changes. So, I don't know, someday, another 20 years down the road, there ain't gonna be no place to get oil changes, you know. But apparently the truck stops have deemed that the shops don't make enough money to justify having shops. So Loves and stuff like that, they put up tire shops and that's about it. Do anything else. All right, let's get to rolling here. It's 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock is 9 o'clock here. Oh, thank you. Who's that? JWO, get a donut and a cup of coffee for next truck stop. Thank you very much. Got my coffee for this morning. Already got that. And thank you there, WJO. Appreciate that. And I got my cookies. These are some cookies I got left over. So I already ate breakfast. Don't need a donut. So thank you, Nick. Tomorrow we'll get that coffee and donut tomorrow. How's that sound? All right. Let's see. Click on there. Checking out my map. We are 40 miles away from this highway. It's going to take us maybe 5-10 minutes to drive down this highway. So in about 45 minutes, we'll be done with this video. About within the hour, okay? So we'll drive down there. We'll drive down there, and it's just a neat little 2-lane shortcut. Not even a shortcut. It doesn't really cut off any time. It's scenic. It's pretty. Okay, so we'll do that. Get out here on the road. Oh mercy! Big old bump here. Worried about scraping my fuel tanks. That big old bump. The mud flap scraped, but that was it. So we're heading straight north right here. Straight north. That's Salina, Utah, or Salina, Utah. I know it's Salina, Kansas, and it seems like Utah pronounces it different. Instead of Salina, Utah, it's Salina, Utah, I think. Something like that. Anyway, might be wrong on that. Don't know. That's the thing about pronouncing these towns and stuff and people's names. It's, man, some of them are hard. How do you get that, pronounce that, spell it that way and you pronounce it a different way? Weird. Alright, so it's heading west, going up the off-ramp, or on-ramp. We're going to merge on to 70. We're going to run 70 down about 40 miles or so. Then we're going to jump off the freeway. I could have. I could. The thing is, I don't want to have my moderators working for 8 hours a day moderating these videos. I gotta be fair to them. So, you go out there and do I can do a video all day long, 8 hours a day, or 10 hours a day or whatever. It wouldn't bother me too much, but the moderators are sitting there. They have to be there to keep tabs on the chat. Okay, so the other thing is I can turn the chat off. Oh, thank you, somebody else. Don, hey, how you doing? Happy Memorial Day, boss. Thank you for your service. Oh, yeah, okay. I swept the motor pool. That's all I did. I was an M1 tanker down in Fort Hood for 3 years, and basically all we did is swept the motor pool and clean the barracks, clean the toilets. I don't like. Seems like that's all I ever did. But, yeah, driving across Utah here yesterday, I wish I could turn the camera on and show everybody this, but, it's just, I can't entertain you for 8 hours, It's just I've run out of things to talk about, and I got to talk fairly loud in the truck so you can hear me, and my voice will give out. So, I don't know, there's ideas I've come up with, maybe just turn the camera on, you can watch where I'm at on a scenic place. Now we're running across Missouri or something, no big deal, but out here across Utah, turn the camera on, but turn the chat off, so the moderators don't have to do anything. You can sit and watch, but that's it, I've thought about that. I don't know if anybody, maybe I'll try it and see if anybody likes it, but I know a lot of the people, they love to come on here and do the chat stuff, and so I hate to take that away. Again, I don't want to have my moderators have to work for 8 hours a day, Speaking of moderators, Lisa still has some stickers left. You want some stickers? Lisa, throw up your sticker information. You want a Sasnak sticker? See if she can sell a few more of them if she wants. But I'm gonna have to send her more. But yeah, if you want a couple stickers, send a self-addressed stamped envelope to her P.O. box, which she'll put up here in a minute. And different colors in the strata of rock. It's beautiful out here. I just love Utah. It's so pretty. You know, it's so different than anything I grew up around or lived around. I grew up in Kansas. I lived in Texas, and you just don't see this in that area. You know, so when I come out here, I'm like, oh, I just love it out here. You know, Arizona has its charm. Utah has its beauty. You know, Idaho, Montana, you know, just the West, the Rockies, are just gorgeous. Real pretty. Big old dairy farm off to the right there. But yeah, if you want a couple stickers, send $5 US, $5, $7 Canadian. Send it to her P.O. box. And make sure you send that silver stamped envelope so you can put it in there. If you want, $5 will get you 2 stickers. Okay? If you want more stickers than that, let her know. You know, you spend $10. Don't just assume you want 4 stickers. You might just want 2 stickers and give her a $5 tip for all her hard work on the chat and everything. So, but yeah, maybe North Star's not on here today. I don't know. Thank you, Tom. Thank you there, Don. Appreciate that. Sending it. Maybe North Star's not on here this morning. I don't know. So, but thanks, Don, for putting that information up there for people. Yep, there you go. Yeah. So anyway, we're gonna drive down this valley down here for about 40 miles. We're gonna go down through Richfield and Seabird. Let me look here real quick. Yeah, the next town we come into, the next decent-sized town, we're gonna come close to Sigurd or Sigurd. There's another. How do you pronounce that? I don't know. Anyway, then we go to Richfield. And then Elsinore. These are just towns along the freeway here we're going to be going past. And Joseph and then Seabird. Then past Seabird, we're going to go a little bit further and then get off the freeway. We're going to run across Highway 4. If you're looking on your map, you're going to look on a map. Look at Seabird, Utah. Sevier, Seabird, Utah. Look that up. And then from Seabird, Utah, go a little bit farther west. And you'll see a Highway 4 that splits off. State Route 4. That's what we're going to run across. And then rejoin 70, okay? And then 70 will go on over and join up with 15, and then we'll head south. But that little hey, we're back. So anyway, he does little odd jobs here, odd jobs there. And he does these little odd jobs and everything. And then, what do you call it? Puts all that money together, and that's enough money for him to live on throughout the year, okay? And that's how he spends his life. He travels around the country. He does a lot of hiking. I think he's getting ready to take off and go to Alaska. For the last 2 or 3 years, he's gone to Alaska and worked on a salmon barge for the salmon fishing, and a salmon tender, I think they call them. And he makes a good little chunk of money on that, and comes back home, gets in his van, travels around the country for the rest of the year. He does a little odd job here, a little odd job there, make a little bit extra money, and then, like I said, YouTube money. It all adds up, and it's enough for him to live on, and that's what he likes to do. Anyway, about 3 or 4 years ago, he was out in this area, camping, and one day he takes off across this highway. I'm like, wow, that is real pretty, you know? So I thought, well, I tried to figure out where it was at, and I found it by looking down on Google Maps. Or Google Earth. So I figured out where it was at, and this other, oh, there you go, that's the road he's on. And I just kind of figured it all out. So the next time I went down through here, I drove through it, made a video about it. That was 3 years ago, 4 years ago. It's been a while back. And what video that is, I don't remember. It's been a long time ago. But anyway, today we're going to drive down through there, just Just you and me, right? Just the two of us. 663 of us. Yeah, just big open country. Got mountains. I should have been born out here. Should have been born out here. Lived out here. Grew up around out here. Junkyard off to the left, just on the very left edge of the screen right there. It's got a whole bunch of farm machinery, a bunch of cars, and stuff like that. Junkyard, basically. Got some RVs. Got a little bit of everything in there, don't he? He's got tractors, he's got RVs, he's got cars, he's got combines, camper shells. He's got everything in there. Look right over here, right over there, that mountain. It's just how it's layered. Of course, you see a lot of the shadows of the clouds and everything. But it's just pretty. Big mountains way over here. Beautiful mountains. And the camera doesn't do it justice. It really does. I wish you guys could actually be sitting here with me. I really do. I mean, it's so pretty out here. Solar farm on the left over there. Something here. Let me go back. I just saw North Star put up. Stan has instructed us to move on and not talk about them, and if they come over just to spread, if they come over to spread rumors, we can remove here too. Okay. Yeah, that's for the what do you call it, the trolls and stuff. They just come over, and they come over from wherever. They just come over to stir shit up, you know. So you come over to stir shit up, you know, don't really want you over here. One of the other things that she had North Star put up there that, you know, don't talk about the 1776. We can talk about it a little here and there, okay? It doesn't need to be the main topic of discussion over here. I'd rather the channel just go back to the driving, trucking channel that I had before, okay? You know, and it's not all about trucking, just whatever I'm doing. Well, people turn you around, talk to you folks. People have a misconception that this is a trucking channel. It's not. This is not a trucking channel. Yeah, I got a truck right here. Yeah, so what? I got a truck, okay? It's not a trucking channel. It's a let's see the shit that Stan's doing today channel. That's what it is. It's a channel to fuck for. Do you know how this channel come to be? Yeah, let me. Some people here might not know this. This channel came to be because I was talking to Toby. Hello. Here comes. Damn it, Toby. Toby, you're hungry. You're hungry. All right. Now what was I talking about? All right, back when I first started this channel back in 17. I'd been out in Portside at this gathering called the RTR, Rubber Tramp Rendezvous. They don't really have it anymore. A lot of people still show up, but it's not really an official RTR anymore. But there was this group of people that showed up. They lived in vans and campers. They were nomadic type people. They lived and traveled all over the country. They didn't own a house. They just traveled full-time. Full-time RVers kind of stuff, right? But it kind of centralized around van life, okay? You can do a camper or whatever. It was just being nomadic. Don't live in sticks and bricks. Live nomadically. You can live very cheap that way. Anyway, so I'm down there hanging out with this crowd of people, you know, I think it's pretty neat. I come across Bob Wells, the guy running. He interviewed me one day. So he interviews me and interviews the truck and everything. And after I left, that was the spring of 17. Spring of 17. January of 17. And I get driving down the road, and what happened was I was driving down the road, and I left there and unloaded in Phoenix, heading back to Atlanta, Georgia. So I'm heading to Atlanta, Georgia, and I called my mom. Just I hadn't talked to her for a week or so. Hey, Mom, what are you doing? So I'm sitting there talking to her, blah, blah, blah. We're talking about, I says, well, so where are you going to? So I'm going to Atlanta, Georgia. Oh, okay, very good. All right, great. Now, you gotta remember, my mom and dad, they did the RV stuff for about 5 years-ish, something like that, 4.5, 5 years, whatever it was. They did full-time. They sold their house and went full-time RV, okay? Snowbirds. They traveled around the country and enjoyed that lifestyle for a while. But when they travel, they leave this campsite and they go about 150, 200 miles and they'd sit and park for a week. Then they get up and they move 300 miles and sit for a month. Then they get up and go somewhere and sit for, you know, maybe 50 miles down the road and sit for another week at RV parks, you know, national parks and state parks and stuff like that, right? So my mom and dad are like a lot of people. It was a long, grueling 200-mile trip. And I'm like, I did 200 miles before noon. So, anyway, I leave Phoenix and I'm heading to Atlanta. Called Mom, says, yeah, I'm going to Atlanta. Oh, okay, great. Well, about 2.5, 3 weeks later, I'm up in Chicago, and I just happened to get a load going to, I think it was in Wisconsin. I got a load going to Atlanta again. And I hadn't talked to Mom for a while. Called her up, hey, what are you doing? Blah, blah, blah. And she said, where are you at? And I said, oh, I'm heading to Atlanta. Oh, well, you're finally getting to Atlanta. Good deal. Like, and it dawned on me, she thinks I'm still on that other load from Phoenix to Atlanta. I'm like, Mom, no. No, I went here. Oh my, I didn't know you drove that much. I'm like, that's what I do out here, Mom. That's what I spend most of my time doing, is driving. And, oh, I had no idea you drove that much. And she's probably mad at me now because I'm using the high voice, you know. But anyway, she's like, oh, I didn't know you drove that much. And I'm like, yeah, Mom, what do you think I do out here? Oh, I don't know. I knew you were a truck driver and did all that, but I just didn't know you drove that much. Oh, yeah, Mom, I went here and here, and, you know, told her everywhere I went for the last several weeks, you know. So anyway, I get off the phone, I'm talking to a friend of mine, Joe, from North Dakota. I'm talking to him, and I think he was the one that come up with the idea. You know that Bob Wells guy does all these videos and everything. You ought to make some videos for your mom. Hey, that ain't a bad idea. So I got thinking about it, and then after I got talking, I think he just kind of planted that seed. You know, he didn't play it all out. He just like, yeah, too bad you can't make videos for your mom or something, you know? That way you can see what you... It was something like that. I don't remember the exact word. He was crazy, but still. I got off the phone, I'm sitting there thinking, if Bob can do it, if a 60-year-old man in a van with a dog can have a YouTube channel, anybody can. And it just dawned on me, anybody can have a YouTube channel, obviously, but I never thought of it that way, you know? I thought creative people had a YouTube channel, you know? People that had I know, the YouTube stuff that I watched was well-produced and stuff, like a TV show almost. Smarter Every Day, you get the idea, that type of stuff. And it just dawned on me that anybody can put any video up on YouTube. I'm going to make a few videos. So I went and bought a GoPro, and I went and started making a couple videos just to show my mom what I did for trucking, you know, just to show her what I did day to day, what my life is like. And I made, I don't know, 3 or 4 videos. And I'm looking on here, and I got 18 subscribers. I know my mom's watching, because I told her about it. 18 people. Who are these 18 people? The mom says, oh, well, your aunt, your cousin, me, your sisters, your mom on that line. Okay, that's about 8, or that's about 10 of them. Who's the other 8? You know, so I'm sitting there scratching my head, trying to find out another friend of mine. And then Joe, his wife, and his 3 or 4 daughters. Oh, okay. Why do there all 18 people? Okay, oh, okay, whatever. Well, the channel went on there. I made a couple more videos, you know. I don't know, I was up to about 7 or 8 videos. 200 viewers. 200 viewers. Who is watching this stuff? It's just me driving down the road, you know. And it kind of dawned on me. Not everybody gets to see these trucks going down the highway. Let's turn you back around. Yep. Not everybody gets to see this. Okay? And not very many people want to see this, but they enjoy seeing that. So it just kind of like clicked in the head here. You're like, oh, let's make some more videos and see what happens. And here we are, 5.5 years later. Well, in April, April Fool's, April 1st. April 1st is my 5-year anniversary. I started on April Fool's Day. Okay. So anyway, so yeah, 5 years later, here we are, 120,000 some subscribers. And but I truck, but I also go up at my friend's farm. I also go camping in the winter. If I'm at home, I'm doing some work in the shop. It's not a trucking channel. A trucking channel would be trucking all day long, every day, day after day. It'd be all about trucking. My channel is, it's what's Dan doing today channel. That's what it is. It's what do I see today that I think you might be interested in. Oh, now that's pretty near. Isn't that cool? So I make videos for that. Okay. Now this live stream is a little new to me, but that's what, for 5 years, that's what I did, was all these videos, making videos that I think you might be interested in. And I'm sitting there thinking of people like my mom, sitting at home all day, retired, not a lot to do, so she can sit there and watch videos and see what her son's doing. Okay, but not her. What about all these other people? You work, you get up, you get up from, here's a typical person. They wake up in the morning, they run in there, take a shower, brush their teeth, comb their hair, and they run down the road 40 or 50 miles go to a job, they sit in a cubicle, work on a computer all day, work on a computer all day, work on a get bitched out a little bit, work on a computer all day, and they get home, get up at 5 o'clock, they get in their car, and they sit in rush hour traffic for an hour and a half to go back and 30 miles, takes another hour and a half to get back home, stop by the grocery store, grab some groceries, go in the house, lock the door, and watch TV. Okay, and they've had this stressful day at work. They just want to escape and watch something mindless, you know, something that's, you know, Dancing with the Stars. I mean, how much more mindless can you get? Okay? So, I try to make a video to where when you come home from work, you can sit there and watch the video and see what this other guy's doing. It has a totally different life than you. Okay? You get up in the morning and you do your stuff and you go to work, you sit in your cubicle and blah, 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 and you come home and let's see what Stan did today. Oh, man. He was out there in the forest doing this. Isn't that neat? Or, oh, he's up there in Kansas and you learn something about a farmer. You know, there's a lot of people watching these videos go, I had no idea there was that. Most people think farmers go out there and poke a hole in the ground, put a seed in it, cover it up, walk away, and then 6 months later come back and there's this big corn stalk and they pull the ears off. You know, that's what people think farmers do. And there's so much more to it. So much more to it. And to me, that's interesting. All the, wow. I mean, I grew up around farming. I didn't know all the stuff that Kirk teaches me. I'm like, you're kidding me. Okay? I always thought a stalk of corn, a corn stalk had 3 or 4 ears on it. One. Sometimes in a really good year, they'll get 2. But usually they only have 1 ear per stalk. I didn't know that. Sweet corn gets a lot of moisture, a lot of rain, a lot of really good soil conditions because it's in your garden. You might get 3 ears off of one of those. Okay? Probably 2 ears, but maybe 3 ears off of that. But field corn, 1 ear per stalk. I didn't know that. It's just all these little things like that. You know, wow, that's interesting. So I try to find YouTube videos of subject matter that I think might be interesting to somebody. Okay? So, what are we talking about? I'm trying to read the comments here. Anyway, you get the idea. So that's what I make this channel about, is what I run across, what I stumbled across today that I think you guys might be interested in. Hence, this morning, we're going down, we're going to drive across this little highway here. I think you might find it interesting. Okay? Now, I'm afraid I'm going to hype it up too much, and you're going to get down there and go, oh, okay. I stuck around all day long to watch that. But it's pretty. It's a little bit nicer highway than you would normally see. Okay? That's what I'm getting at. And it's not a life-changing highway, but it's interesting. It's something like, wow, that's a pretty little drive down through there. You wouldn't think that would be there. You know, I didn't. I'm driving along like, wow, this is neat. So where are we at? We're almost to Joseph, Utah here. We got another, about 12 more miles of freeway. We got about 12 more miles of interstate, and after that we'll get off and we'll run just about 10 miles of this other road. And actually the first couple miles are the interesting miles, and after that it turns kind of normal again. So here in about 15 minutes, alright? So if you need to go to the bathroom or do whatever, of course you could just pause the video and do what you're going to do. Or go back and watch it later. goes back north of here quite a ways. But yeah, same kind of scenery and stuff. Cemetery off to the left over there. Got a whole bunch of American flags flying today. That sounds like it'd have been fun right there. Who was that? Bam Bam? Yeah, Bam Bam said he used to work in Utah as a river guide. That sounds like that'd have been a fun job. Ready to come up on this exit right here. See off to the left, right over there. There's a valley that goes up through there. Stunning. I would go that way, but it takes you kind of out of route. It is stunning going down through there. Just beautiful, beautiful ride. That's from Sebring, Utah, going south on Highway 89. Going down through that valley. If you took this exit right here, exit 23, and turn left, go down that, right over there, that little valley right over there. And it works its way down through. There's a river running down through there. It's just absolutely beautiful. 3 years ago, maybe, I was up in Utah and I had to go down to Arizona, and I thought I'd take this little. That was the only way to go, really. Otherwise, you had a long way out around on the interstate. So I took the 2-lane down through there. And I was just, wow, this is beautiful down here. I actually pulled over on the side of the road for the night. And right out my window, I mean, there was hardly any traffic at night on that highway. Once the sun went down, it just almost no traffic at all. I pulled over in this wide spot because it was right beside the river. And I was out of hours in my logbook. I had to pull over somewhere. So I got in there and parked. I woke up the next morning. I knew there was a river there, but I didn't. It was dark. I mean, it was no moon, no nothing. It was really, really dark. And I knew there was a river, but that's all I could tell, in the dark, that there was a river over there. And it was a beautiful night, and I opened the windows, and I could listen to that river, the water rolling over the river all night long. And it was just very peaceful. I woke up the next morning, looked out, and oh man! Beautiful, beautiful river. Beautiful. I got out and walked around, and I did a video there, I think. I'm pretty sure I did a video there that morning. And that's way back when. I would have to go back and search, and I didn't even know where it was at anymore. But look at what's ahead of us. It's starting to get more interesting. And this is the interstate. We get off on the 2-lane. Whole area down here. Oh, we're back. We don't have a very good tower here. That's what I'm worried about. We get down on that little road and I'm losing my tower down there. Oh, keep your fingers crossed. Just keep your fingers crossed. It doesn't buffer. Looking off to the left here, man, it's just spires. Man, it's beautiful. look bad. They look bad, but they're really not that. They're not that bumpy. Not too bad. They look terrible, but they're actually fairly smooth. There's many repair patches and stuff. They actually did a fairly good job. You can feel it, but it's not like pounding the truck. Trees off to the right, down along there. There's a river down there, a little stream, and there's a little campsite you can pull off into down there. That's where Brian had pulled his van down in somewhere down in there, and I don't recall exactly where it was at now. It was somewhere along in here, but there's a highway on the right-hand side over here. Over there, there's a highway right up along them cliff faces and everything. It's a 2-lane road. That's actually the road we're going to get on. That's Highway 4 over there. We're going to go down here and get off and go to the next exit up here. And but anyway, he was over down in them, back behind us back there somewhere in the campsite. And then when he left, I kind of figured the road that he took. That's how I come across that road. I'm like, oh, that's where it's at. So see that road off to the right? See that cliff off to the right, right over here? Right over here? There's a road over there. That's where we're going to get to. We're going to get into this exit here to get off on it. And then we're going to go down through that canyon. Straight ahead. Straight ahead. See that canyon? That's where we're going. Now we're going to have to go to the left a little bit, get off and come back to it. But anyway, that's where we're going, down through that canyon. Now I need to adjust the camera a little bit more upwards so you see less of the hood and more of the, there we go, more of the hills and everything. Nice little homestead there on the right. The donkeys out there. Now, if we just follow this 17 more miles, we run into Interstate 15. Okay, we run into Interstate 15, but we're going to take this other road, and it's about the same distance mileage-wise. It's just a prettier ride. So I got to make a real wide swing here because it's kind of a tight turn. There's the green sign right there, Clear Creek Canyon. So that's what we're going to go down through, Clear Creek Canyon. And this is what I want to do with my RV, my van, stuff like that. Just go explore. I remember as a kid, just living in Kansas, couldn't go very far, but on my bicycle, I always went down to there's a creek down there by our house, kind of like this creek right here, okay, and it had water in it all year long. I think it was, I can't remember the name of that creek, Elk Creek or something like that, I think, anyway, but yeah, just a little creek, and I used to ride down there on my bicycle and get off and I'd walk up and down that creek exploring. Just, wasn't going very far, but it seemed like every time I always go just a little bit farther. Each time I went down there, I'd go just a little bit farther, I'd hang out and I'd gig frogs and stuff like that, just doing stuff that little boys do, But, live right there on the left. A-frame barn. Looks like it's an A-frame barn style house. Barnwood. Man, I could live there. I could absolutely live there. They got their goats, their sheep. Got horses. Little cabin right there. Yeah. You tell me if this is better than the interstate as we go down through here. Now, I'm not doing 65, 70 mile an hour. I'm doing 35 right now. So I'm just putting along down through here. It's just, if you have the opportunity to do this kind of stuff, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you come down through something like this rather than the interstate? And I'm looking off my left and right, seeing so much more than you can see on the camera. You know, but I got to drive. I can't be holding, you know, swinging cameras around and everything. But I look down at that little stream down there. Just there's little pull-off areas you can pull off and sit by the stream and camp out. You know, I wouldn't want to camp right by the road right here, but you get the idea. All right? And it gets better. Don't get me wrong. There's trees right now, but it gets better here just a little bit. So neat. Yep. Uh-oh. We're gonna run into a brick wall. A rock wall. What are we gonna do? Oh, let's turn right. Check this out. Isn't that neat? Oh, doggone it. It got so claustrophobic down there with all the rocks. I lost my signal. Prettiest part. The prettiest part. I lost my signal. I don't know if I got enough room to pull over here or not. Let's try it. Yeah, I think that'll work. Just remember there's a poster. You know, when I pull out, I need to turn hard left. And I'm going to have to remind myself of that somehow. Let's put this up here. So, I put my hat up there to remind me that there's that post is right there. Otherwise, I'll pull out and forget about it. All right. I got out. See how this canyon is? These walls? Right here, that was like that on both sides, really, really narrow. And because of that, I lost my signal. Because, you know, signal goes through rock and everything. But man, look at this beautiful little river down here. Let's see if we're going down there. Let me look for a better spot, maybe. Yeah. It looked like about the best spot, but it just isn't that pretty. You know, we got the hills here. The stream runs down through. Big sheer walls. I could get down there and everything, but I don't know if you're going to get a better view in it down there anyway. Coming up on these loose rocks probably be kind of hard. I think I'll just stay where I'm at. Isn't that pretty? Just absolutely gorgeous. I mean, like right on the other side of the truck there, on the other side of the truck, a little drive that goes up in. I bet you could build a little house up in there, be surrounded by all these rocks. Just quiet, except for them damn truck drivers that pull over with YouTube channels making noise. Oh, there's some this is gonna mess it up. I know every time I do this, it messes the video up. So I'm not gonna do it. Right there, right before we leave, I'll come back but there's something written up there. And I can't really read it. But what I'm trying to make a point of, okay, right here, let's see some more stuff. Now, how they did this, I don't know. Maybe they rappelled from the top. How they got there and wrote this stuff. But there's Carl. 9/22/20, something like that. Right here it says Carl and Laverne. Carl and Laverne. And then there's DP, NM, MMJJ. And then over here is AP 21 plus 65. And then MN and DP. Somebody got out there and painted, spray painted that stuff on there. Okay, and that one around there looked more like it was like chiseled in. And they, we look at that today and we say, somebody graffitied. That's vandalism. They graffitied that. 500 years from now, that'll be a petroglyph. Think about it, folks. 5,000 years ago, 2,000 years ago, there were some Indians and they graffitied the wall. And now here we look at it and go, oh, it's petroglyphs. How wonderful that is. It's all point of view, isn't it? It's all point of view. Actually, that doesn't look too bad right here. Ooh. Ah. Oh. Hold on, folks. Let me get down here before I hold the camera right. Hope I can get back out of here. Traction. I'm going to put a little concrete down here so it don't wash away. But there we go. Ooh, there's a fish. I lost him. He was right back in this area. Probably a little trout or something. So I could hold this steady for you. There we go. I'm watching out for snakes, but it's pretty cold today. I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of snakes around. Just comes up underneath the highway. That comes in from over here somewhere. And over there's some water. That's where that comes through underneath the road and comes out to that culvert over there. So there we are. Yeah, I'm hauling a Coca-Cola trailer. And I'm doing my damnedest to be less white. Y'all know what that means. But yeah, so here's a little road here, sort of. A little road. And if I was on a Jeep or something, I'd take off and I'd drive back and see what it is. But I bet we get back in there. It'll be a nice little place. Build a little cabin or something. So there you go, folks. What do you think? It's just better than the interstate, I think. I think it's better than the interstate, so Let's get back in here. Oh! Don't hit that pole, Stan. What pole are you talking about, Stan? That post right there. Right there. Trying to get everything realigned here. There we go. All right, let me go. I'll be right back. Feel much better. Alright, missed the pole, Stan. Missed the pole. Missed the pole. There we go. So now you've seen the best of it. There's some more rock here a little bit, but the farther we go, the less sheer cliff it gets. You don't have a signal or whatever, but we'll get in here a little bit farther, and I'll go ahead and shut the camera down, and we'll be done for the day. Okay? So, excuse me. There's somebody camping on the left, right there by the river. There you go. Nice little camp spot there. Pretty nice. Pretty nice. So now you happy? You happy you stuck with me all morning long to see all this? That rock there, you don't want to hit your trailer, right? Little piece of rock stuck way out there. Rock overhang. But you know, there's all the negative things about trucking, you know, putting up with all the regulation and the DOT, and every time you turn around you're worried about a cop pulling you over and giving you an undeserved ticket, you know, and all that. It's just, there's all the negative parts of trucking, but it just dawned on me. All the negative parts of trucking revolve around government. I mean, most of it. Don't get me wrong. There's some negative stuff in houses and stuff like that. But for the most part, there's negative things about trucking, positive things. Like today. You know, it's beautiful. Just an absolutely beautiful day. You know? So here we go. Here comes a pickup, a fifth wheel coming down the road. as you can see, it's starting to open up. The valley is starting to open up more and more. Okay. Push that rock off on me. See it right on the left there? Big old rock sitting up there, and he's about ready to push it over. Run, runner. Ready to choose you, get through. Oh, mercy. Alright, so I think, if I remember right, that's about it. I think the rest of this is starting to get, starts to really open up. Be much more, much more open valley rather than canyon. Now, if you want to, rewind this and go back to when I pulled off the interstate. What was the name of this? Clear Creek River or something like that. There's the interstate right over there. Looking at the interstate off to my left. But anyway, whatever the name of that river was, remember when we got off the freeway, when we turned, there's a big green sign. Go back and find out what that was. I don't remember off the top of my head, but it was Clear Creek River, or Clear Creek. Wait, go back and find that. Whatever that said, whatever that green sign said, go to YouTube and search Utah Clear Creek Canyon or whatever it was called. Okay, and I bet there's a video of somebody going through and you see the whole thing that you missed when I came through the camera fizzled out there for a little bit. And that was actually the prettiest part where it fizzled out. So you can go back and watch somebody else's video and look for that and see what you actually missed. I think you got a really good idea about the place though. It just right over there is the interstate. I'm only about a mile away from the interstate. I'm kind of right parallel with it right now. We can eventually join in with the interstate, and I think that's where I'm going to call the video quits. When we get up here to the interstate, get on. We only got maybe another mile or so. About another mile, and we'll be joining in with the freeway, and that's where I'm going to cut this video off. But if you're ever out in this neck of the woods, now you know this little shortcut. It's not really a shortcut, but it's a shortcut off of the interstate. You don't save any time. Actually, you lose time because you drive slower, and you might stop and look at stuff. There was a turkey just walking across the road. You see that? A turkey walking across the road. Right over there. They blend in so well you never see them. Driving along and you take a little offshoot excursion like that, it lets you get out of the car and stretch your legs and see something pretty. And right there's the interstate. So, all right, folks. Hope you had a good time this morning. A little over 2-hour video this morning for you, and hope you enjoyed it. Took a little Scenic trip down through the 2 lanes. That truck sitting on the on-ramp. Don't know. But anyway, there you go, folks. Y'all have a good one. Clear Creek. That's a Clear Creek Summit. That's where we're at right now. It's Clear Creek Summit. And that river going down there is called Clear Creek. And that road, I think, was Clear Creek Canyon or Clear Creek Pass or something like that. Anyway, so y'all have a good one. And man, we got to get the jigs going here. Get slowed back down. We got a nice long downhill from here all the way down to 15. So we can run this next curve, see what we see here real quick. I think we have a big open view, if I remember right. Come around this and all of a sudden it just opens up and boom, you can see the whole valley. Another mile or so, folks, you'll see that valley off to the left over here. Once we go around this curve, you can see there's a big, huge valley down here that we're going down. It's hard to turn the camera off. There's just so much pretty stuff to see. Definitely live out here. Right there. Yeah, huge valley down there. Pretty. Yep. It's a good day. It's a good day. Y'all be good. God bless. Remember, God loves you.